Rebel rocks! Rebel rocks!
What happens to the West if the East gives us Mark Carney?
Oh, well, I'm pretty sure we all know that we're going to try and separate as fast as possible.
I think it's time the West separates.
I agree.
I don't want to be part of another term of liberals.
I used to cause all kinds of mayhem. It was like going to Disneyland when we came to Saskatchewan. As a city boy from Calgary, there are all these toys, these big combines. I get to go ride in the combine out in the middle of the field. An incredible memory.
Sheila Gunn-Reid for Rebel News, and I'm here in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. I'm here for one of the last Conservative rallies of the campaign. As it sits, we've got 5 days left before the fate of this country is decided. Will it be decided by people who voted for hope and for change, or will it be decided by entitled, selfish, retired Ontario public sector boomers? Now, we've still got an hour before the rally begins, and this parking lot is full of people. Now, I ran the numbers and adjusted for population. If 3,500 people show up, that's akin to the 15,000 people approximately that showed up just outside of Edmonton, with Saskatoon being about 1/4 the size of Edmonton. I'm going to go talk to these people about what happens in the catastrophic event that Mark Carney becomes elected Prime Minister in 5 short days. Let's go see what they have to say.
Rebel rocks! Rebel rocks!
What happens, guys, if the East elects Mark Carney?
I just think that our future would be doomed as young Canadians. We need to elect a leader that's strong for us, not only strong for the adults in our country, but strong for our youth. So if the East elect Mark Carney, we could be in big trouble.
What kind of trouble?
Financial trouble. That's definitely the main one for sure, and just not a very strong leader. I know Mark Carney didn't even get elected by anybody. He was just accepted in by the Liberal Party. So I'm surprised already he's getting as many votes as he is. It should be Pierre all the way.
Saskatchewan and Alberta have to come a country together. We have all the potash, all the oil, all the uranium, all the agriculture, all the natural gas, all the coal. Us and Alberta together. We're done. That's simple. We don't need Manitoba. We don't need Quebec. Obviously, they're the parasites, sorry.
We were really kind of worried about that, actually, because it seems like we're going to win the popular vote, but it depends about the electoral votes. So we're here to show Canada that we have to vote for Pierre to end the 10 years of liberal destruction on Canadians.
Yeah, but what about in event of a doomsday scenario? What happens to the West if Carney gets elected?
Well, I don't think separating Canada is an option. However, we have to send the Liberals a message that we're not going to tolerate any more of their corrupt policies that with inflation and mass immigration and things that have really been destructive to us.
I think it's time the West separates.
I agree.
I don't want to be part of another term of liberals.
No, he's a crook.
Yeah, he's total crook.
Well, we get a bunch of immigrants, we lose our jobs, and we lose half our money in tax.
The youth has lost faith in this country, and it's a shame. I'll never be able to afford a home with this, right? He never will be. I mean, all we want is a family, and that's it, right? What else can you ask for?
I think let's just pray that we separate.
You seem reluctant. You seem reluctant about it.
Because I want my grandkids to grow up in Canada. So it's going to tear me up.
What happens if the East gives us Mark Carney as Prime Minister?
We're gone. Absolutely, we're gone. I'm gone anyway. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people in Saskatchewan want to be gone as well. Because we can't afford another 10 years of this stuff. This is like the most treasonous, lying government And I swear to God, I think they're trying to put Canada underneath. So I'm gone anyway. I'm sure a lot of people in this province are the same way, as much as we love this country. But it's like, we can't handle this anymore. And all these fake polls and everything out there, I don't believe it.
Say hi, Sheila.
Hi.
Say hi. Hi.
What happens if the East gives us a Prime Minister, Mark Carney, before our polls are even closed?
I would be really tempted to leave. I don't think I could live under a Liberal government. The way Mark Carney's planning on throwing money around, like we can't afford to live. My daughter isn't going to be able to afford a home. I don't think we could stay.
No. Honestly, ever since I found out about Pierre and what he's been doing for Canada, I honestly have not been into politics before. When I heard of Pierre, I started getting interested in politics because of his promises to Canada and everything. I just honestly want him to win, and I hope he wins because I want to be able to afford a house. And I want to be able to live in Canada. I love Canada. I've been living here my whole life. But Liberals just don't have what they need to be here in Canada. They need to leave.
Net zero, global warming, catastrophes, lockdowns, and that's only just the start. It's insane what's going to happen. If they're that crazy to throw away the future of Canadian children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren's futures, for what? Like, there's a video on Washington Speakers Bureau. Mark Carney, in his own words, talks about net zero and what's going to happen. Net zero means we're all screwed. Doesn't matter where you're from, we're all messed up. It's really bad. So that's why we're all going to vote for Pierre, put him in power.
Your fellow boomers from Eastern Canada just might screw us. Now, what happens if they do? What happens to the West?
It'll probably make people want to separate. Yeah, I think so. I think the West is tired of supporting the East, and there's a lot of difference. And I think in the West we always feel like the East have been electing our PMs for ages, and it hasn't gone so well.
Well, we'd be very upset about that. The West has just been inferior to everything that happens in Central Canada. Send all our money from all our resources. Send everything you have, and we'll just pat you on your head and treat you like the colony that you should be.
So what do we do about it?
Well, we got to make a good start here and elect a Prime Minister like Pierre Poilievre, who can get us back on track. The West wants in. We need in. We're equal partners in Confederation. Let's give that to us.
I just hope we can make a lot of noise and be heard, and hopefully we can get respect for the West again.
Oh, well, I'm pretty sure we all know that we're going to try and separate as fast as possible.
Oh, God, I don't think there'll be any hope if it happens. So Pierre is our only hope for Canada to survive this.
We need this change badly.
You are who I think you are, madam.
I am.
Well done.
Thank you.
Very well done.
Who is ready to vote for change in Canada? Who's ready to axe some taxes for a change? Who's ready to build some homes you can afford for a change? Who's ready to lock up some criminals so you can be safe for a change? And who's ready after this lost Liberal decade of rising cost and crime to fire this incompetent government and bring change to Canada? Feels like coming home. Here we are back in the home province of my mother and father, Don and Marlene Poilievre. They had their start here. They were married in Saskatoon itself. And in fact, my godmother, Bernie, is here. There she is. We used to go and visit her farm. You remember when we used to come visit your farm? You remember. What do you remember about that? We were running around. So when I was a farmer, I was out standing in my field. Is that what you're saying? I used to jump on the trampoline. I used to steal the dirt bike. I used to fire the rifle. I used to cause all kinds of mayhem. It was like going to Disneyland when we came to Saskatchewan. As a city boy from Calgary, there were all these toys, these big combines. I get to go ride in the combine out in the middle of the field. An incredible memory. We are not a nation of tax collectors and toll masters, of bureaucrats and busybodies. We're not a nation of gatekeepers and grandees, rulers and rule makers. We are a nation of artists and adventurers, entrepreneurs and explorers, workers and warriors, pioneers and patriots. Now we must unite to bring the change we need and restore the foundations of our country, so that we as a nation can make that promise whole for the next generation to come. It is said that society is a contract between the dead, the living, and the yet to be here. We unite to pass down that Canadian promise, one generation to the next, so that our children and our grandchildren will say that we left for them the best country on earth. Canada, let's bring it home. Thank you.
4,000 to 5,000 people came out on very short order, which, when adjusted for population, puts them at least up there with the massive Edmonton rally. It should also be noted that current Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe and former Saskatchewan Premier Brad Wall have both endorsed Poilievre over the last couple of days, and Brad Wall for 10 years was Canada's most popular premier. So his endorsement has a lot of pull. My friends in Saskatchewan didn't disappoint either when they booed the CBC van on its way in.
Saskatchewan doesn't like the CBC, chat. They don't like the CBC over here.
And we also had a couple of protesters. One was a very spindly looking man who was leaning up against his vehicle saying that Pierre Poilievre would sell out to American fascists. These people all want to fight fascism, but they don't look like they could fight a strong breeze. And then there was another pro-Palestinian protester who somehow made his way into the rally, had an emotional outburst, and then security quickly took him away, and the rally didn't miss a beat.
Mr. Carney want to tell lies. It's because he wants us all to forget. He wants us to forget about the lost Liberal decade, housing costs. He is the one who wants to get them out of here. 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 Okay. Get out of here. Get out of here. Another Liberal stunt. Another Liberal stunt.
The people here are hopeful. They're eager for change, but they also know that their fate may be decided before the voting is done in Toronto. For Rebel News in Saskatoon, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. To see and support all of Rebel News' independent journalism from the campaign trail, please go to campaign2025.com.